Let friends in your social network know what you are reading about. There were many nods to my real life, the real Matt Logelin says of Kevin Hart's portrayal of the widowed dad in Netflix's Fatherhood. A link has been sent to your friend's email address. A link has been posted to your Facebook feed. Kevin Hart chats with USA Today's Brian Alexander about his new Netflix film, Fatherhood, and his real-life dad duties changing diapers. USA Today watching Kevin Hart's Fatherhood portrayal of widowed father Matt Logelin raising his baby daughter Maddy might seem like Hollywood fiction. But the Netflix movie, now streaming, follows the major beats of the real Matt Logelin's initially tragic but ultimately triumphant true tale, as told in his 2011 best-selling autobiography, Two Kisses for Maddy, a memoir of loss and love. Fatherhood screenwriter Dana Stevens and director Paul Weitz consulted Logelin extensively, with Weitz saying he called constantly with changes during filming to make sure any emotion or beat wasn't false. The movie captured the really intense emotions here, says Logelin, whose wife Liz Logelin died 27 hours after giving birth to the couple's daughter. But the movie also fights to find the humor. Not everything that happened in my life was 100% awful all of the time. Key names, details like the high school sweetheart's Minnesota origins, and the true story's spirit ring true, except for the film's mother-in-law portrayal. Kevin Hart can relate, diaper disasters, blowouts, crying babies from new dramedy, Fatherhood. Matt Logelin and Maddy next to Kevin Hart, playing Matt Logelin in Fatherhood. Photo, Matt Logelin, Netflix, Fatherhood. Mother-in-law, Marion, Alfre Woodard, while grieving the loss of her daughter Liz, is critical of Matt's raw child-raising skills and pushes to take over parenting of her granddaughter Maddy. She's the exact opposite of my actual mother-in-law, says Logelin of his true in-law, Candee Goodman. Candee is not overbearing. So that's one big deviation from reality. Logelin understands that it makes for a better story to have the relatable conflict. Some changes were necessary, he says. He also had time to prep Candee for the portrayal she would see on screen. Candee was just like, well, the people who know me in real life know that this is not me, it's been fictionalized, says Logelin. And while there are a lot of hard moments to watch in the movie, Candee loved how it turned out. Matt and Liz Logelin on their wedding day. Liz died shortly after giving birth to their child, Maddy. Photo, courtesy of Matt Logelin. That scene in the hospital where she collapses is where I really start to kind of lose it, because it's so incredibly accurate to my experience, with that kind of speed, says Logelin. After the greatest moment of your life, you don't expect your wife to die the day after, to not have actually held our daughter.